so that I can join in the chat.
Yeah, well, you're already on, so there you go. Now it's actually already sent. Welcome to Game Hounds, Happy Endings, episode 20. Edie Sellers, Holy Goalie, and with us, instead of Nick, is Mrs. Lefty Brown. And we are live talking to you from Gamehound Central, which is all over the fucking place right now in San Francisco.
I was going to say, do you have a Central? Hey,
yes, Gamehound Central is a trashy mess at the moment. It's got like paper plates and Starbucks cups and shit all over it.
Hey, you know what? At least you can throw all that shit away.
No. Yeah, it's true. Actually, most of it. Some of it. No, actually not very much of it. It does get a cleaning every once in a while. So, yeah, I'm back from the burning of the man and did not do, I think I was on last week. Yeah, didn't do much. Didn't see much of the event because I was too busy working. And Kelly was at PAX. So how was PAX this year?
You know, they did 4 days this year instead of 3. And so there was a whole, it was really weird because when they sent out the press releases and everything, come make appointments, and I was like looking at our schedule and trying to spread ourselves out so that we wouldn't be too bunched up on all the days. We had 4 people with us this time, Chris and I and 2 other people, and I was like, well, how about Monday? And all of the people were like, well, we prefer it Friday, Saturday, or Sunday for appointments. And I'm like, okay, what's going on with Monday? Well, what happened was a lot of the CMs, community managers, or the PR people left, and the developers left on Sunday and used Monday as a travel day to get back into the offices because they had to work on Tuesday.
Right.
And kind of had skeleton crews running Monday.
Oh.
And so for us as press, there were very few people that we could actually do appointments with on Monday. I mean, it was great because if you were just just the general public, the games were still there to play. But there wasn't a lot of people that us as press could do appointments with.
Right.
So, but Monday was freaking crowded because everybody had Monday off.
Ah.
So instead of Sunday being where you saw a lot of people with their kids, and that was kind of like the family day, Monday became that family day. So, and here's what's really weird. You know how, Edie, usually when we finish Sunday and you finish out the last day of the show and you go down those, was it 3 tiers of escalators?
Yeah.
And you have the big sign that says, see you next year, and it has the PAX dates.
Right.
They weren't there this year. They did not announce PAX Prime dates yet.
Man, there would be nothing in the world that would make me happier is if they would stop making Burning Man stop making PAX during Burning Man, because Burning Man existed first. It was first.
Well, and I don't know.
It's always such a hard thing for me because it's like I have commitments there. I'm committed to doing that. And it's like I just can't do both. And to have it all happening all at once is a real burden. I mean, I know I'm probably one of very few people who have that problem, but still, it's like I wish they would figure out that there's this big event in the desert that people that would be interested in PAX can't go to. That they can't do it because they have to make a choice. They shouldn't have to make a choice.
No, they shouldn't.
They should make it contiguous. Make PAX the week after Burning Man, so everybody leaves Burning Man and goes to PAX. Yay! We would love that.
Right.
Freaking Seattle would make so much money because Seattle empties out for Burning Man.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's interesting because they always have the big sign that says "See you next year," and there's the date. So
could they
everybody's
possibly be moving? They wouldn't be moving it. They couldn't possibly move it.
I thought that last year we asked them, and they said 2015 was when they were contracted out till.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember.
Oh.
Chris keeps saying that if they were smart, because they're kind of maxed out on space there.
Yeah, they're so maxed out in space that they have to shuttle stuff off into other places where you're all over the city now.
We stayed at the Hyatt, the Grand Hyatt, which is just down a little ways. They had panels up until 11 o'clock at night.
Oh,
and we're not just talking about panels of come and watch the game shows that how the late
night events.
Activisions do that. No, we're talking community manager, how to break into the industry panels.
So the
At 11
important
o'clock
stuff,
at
the
night.
big stuff they would
Yeah.
normally put during the day, they had at night. Yeah,
Right.
either they have to
And-
start limiting their size, which is going to be really challenging.
Right. And they had panels at the Grand Hyatt. They had panels at the Sheraton. And they had the panels at the regular convention center.
Wow.
And there were a couple of studios that rented out buses to show their games
Wow.
because they couldn't get space on the show
Yeah,
floor.
they can't. That's they've got to move. They've got to move. They've got. I love Seattle. I
doesn't have
love
height.
Seattle, but they got to move.
Lefty says that if they're smart, they'd move to San Diego and do it where Comic-Con's at.
Yeah, but the problem is that then there'll be directly that it's That's Comic-Con territory. They'd
Yeah,
have to
but
pick a new city like Denver.
But where?
Denver.
Yeah, Denver in September is not bad.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous in September.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid, San Francisco. Except it has GDC, but San Francisco is big
But
enough.
And in September is not bad, but GDC is far enough
Away.
gone.
Yeah. Yeah. PAX Prime, I've said it for a few years. I just think that they can't go much farther in Seattle. It's just too big.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, but was it substantively different? I mean, other than the hours and the fact that it was way too big for its small britches.
It was the same thing that we've seen, year after year after year. It is interesting. The one thing they did that I thought was really kind of cool for us as press, you know how we have our little press room that was off, not in the same place as the main hall, but we were off at the building across the way.
Oh, really? That's where they moved
Yeah.
the press room because it used to be upstairs on the third floor or fourth floor or the top floor.
Right. We're across the way now, but they blocked it off with a black curtain, and no one except for press can get back there. And press had their own bathrooms.
Ooh, that's slick.
So it was kind of nice because it was like, well, if you have to go to the bathroom and you don't want to go back to your hotel room, and you don't want to have to deal with nerds, you could at least go back there and go to the bathroom and not have to deal with nerds.
Nice. Yeah, because nerds always pee on the seat anyway.
That'll make taking pictures so much easier.
Especially if they're wearing kilts, right?
Yeah. Michael O'Connell in the chat room says, how about Iowa City? I don't think Iowa City has a big enough convention center. Something just tells me Iowa City would be...
That's the thing you have to think about.
Not
You have to get a convention center.
Yeah, it has to be a
And-
massive convention center. Because if they're already
Convention
filling up
center and
Seattle...
food. Think about Boston, where it's located right now. How fucking hard it is for us to get anywhere to get food. Within walking distance. We can't.
You can't get food within
We have
walking
to get
distance.
taxi, and then you're having to say to your buddies, "Hey, let's all go together so we can share this cost of this."
Right, or even hotels. And Boston is a
Yeah.
big town, but unfortunately the convention center that's big enough for the Boston PAX, for PAX East, is so... They're still developing the area. So they've not quite got all the hotels, and the hotels are insane. The crowd for hotels is just insane. I
Yeah,
almost want
it
to...
is.
I wish I had $1 bajillion so I could build a convention center that actually had everything you needed instead of it being this slow process. Because seriously, Goalie, what was out at that area in Boston before there was a convention center? Because it seems
Nothing.
like it
Seagulls.
was... Yeah, that's what it seems like. It seems like this is a lost area of downtown Boston. It's like, how could you have downtown Boston? It's one of the oldest cities in the country. How do you have any square inch, much less an area that big where there's fuck all nothing?
Yeah, we were there and they were doing construction, so they're building things. I don't know what kind of things they're building, but you're right. You have this huge convention center, and it's kind of out. Picture putting a convention center at Staten Island with the Statue of Liberty, and not having anything to eat or no hotels there.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. It's just out on an island all by itself.
Yeah.
Well, and then they still, that convention center, they still have room to grow because they have a third of the convention center where they're pulling in those food trucks to deliver food.
Right. Yeah. The was it carnival food on the back?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh,
You go
bad
back there and you're
pizza
you're
and hot dogs on a stick and shit. Funnel cakes. Fuck.
I've got meat on a stick, therefore it must be good.
Right. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was delicious, but there's only so much carnival food you can eat in 4 days.
Yeah, you can only have it one day before you're like, yeah, no amount of walking is going to get this off of me.
Yeah, and I will say this though, that some of the restaurants that are down in that area are making a killing during the week.
Well, and you know they have to jack their prices up for that week.
Oh yeah,
you know they have to.
If they're smart, they do. Yeah, and how many times did we go to what was the name of that fish restaurant that we went to?
The tasting kitchen or the test kitchen.
It wasn't the test. I never went to the test kitchen. I went to the regular one.
Yeah,
what was the name of it? Is it free trade fish or whatever it is? Goalie. What's the big fish?
Yeah, what's that one that we went to?
Yeah,
Goalie?
the fish house. It's like
oh.
fair. It's fuck. What's the name of it? It's a very famous fish house out there.
Yes. Oh man, wicked.
Market Price. It wasn't Market Price. It was.
No, not Faneuil Hall.
It's killing me.
Test kitchen.
No, it wasn't the test, because there was the test kitchen and then there was a regular restaurant, because the test kitchen has all their new stuff that they're trying out. Oh, now I'm
Legal seafood.
What was it?
Legal seafood.
Legal seafood.
Legal. That's right. Legal seafood.
Yeah. And because they had great clam chowder and rolls, and we could just live off of clam chowder and rolls, and it didn't cost us an arm and a leg.
Yeah, but that's all you could have that wasn't an arm or leg. I mean, I remember we did like the test just did small plates, because it's like we're hungry but we're not too hungry, so I just did a bunch of fucking small plates, which was delicious. But fuck, that's expensive.
Yeah,
I know.
is good, but it's small and it's expensive.
Jaeger is in the chat room, like just randomly spouting off shit that I don't understand.
I don't even
First,
know.
he says mansions for the Chinese, and his next one is freckle bitches.
Freckle bitches.
What? Jaeger is drunk again. He's having
it's
peggle
what
withdrawal.
time of the day?
Hey, Squeege is in the room as well. Michael O'Connell, Corey Wallace.
Okay, so Edie, I have to tell you something that I did that's non-gaming related, but I think both you and Goalie are going to shoot me for doing this. So you guys know football's back, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I do know that.
Okay. So a friend of ours who is in the gaming industry started up a fantasy football league, and he was like begging people on Facebook to join his fantasy football league, and I'm like, well, if you don't mind having a girl on your league, I'll join. And he's like, yeah, join my league. I'd love for you to be on it. And I'm like, okay. And he grew up in the same town that I grew up in, so we kind of know each other outside of the gaming industry as well. So this past Friday was the live draft for our league.
Mm-hmm.
I very much choose my people on my team like a girl does. You know, the whole, oh, that name looks good. Okay, I'll pick that guy.
That has nothing to do with gender. I know a lot of guys that pick stuff like that don't know shit about football, that thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we were in a chat, because you can be in a chat while you're doing the live draft. And so all the guys, and then all of them except for me, are like with major companies. We're talking EA, Astro Gaming, like major companies. And then there's me, Mrs. Lefty Brown.
That's all right.
So I'm kind of having fun with this, and the guys are like, so I've got, and they're naming like all these big name like guys, and they're like, why'd you pick that guy? And I'm like, because his name sounds like Shamu.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Needless to say, I'm 4th out of 10.
Yeah. Corey Wallace said, did you draft Sebastian Janikowski first? Who?
No.
Who?
Who in the fuck is
Who's
he?
Sebastian Janikowski?
No, I picked the guy who's the 49ers quarterback first because I knew that
Wait,
he
isn't that
played
Janikowski?
good.
Who's 49ers quarterback, goalie?
I don't know.
Copernic or something like that.
Kaepernick. Yeah, Kaepernick.
Kaepernick,
I
yeah.
hear he's pretty
I knew
badass.
that. I knew that he was good, and then I had to pick my defense team, and the only team that I knew that was still left was the Baltimore Ravens. so, so I think I may have picked better if I had thrown darts at a wall.
Yeah, I've
But
done that.
but I Chris and I did a fantasy soccer league, and I beat the socks off of him doing that. Like we were watching a game, and I'm like, oh, I have that guy on my little team, and Chris goes, how do you know? And I'm like, because his name starts with a. And he's like, seriously, that's how you picked your team?
Yeah, just pick them all everybody's name, the first one. First letter of the
Yeah.
name, all match. Like all A's or all S's.
I did.
Good idea.
Just fun.
I've picked for the NC2A tournament, won an NC2A tournament pool at my work at the time by looking at the mascots and figuring out which mascot would beat the other mascot, like a tiger versus a lumberjack. Oh fuck, the tiger would totally kill the lumberjack. An orangeman versus a saint. Oh, yeah. The saint is too good. We're going to have to pick the orangeman because, this orangeman, even no matter what, he's not a saint. So, therefore, saints can't beat anybody. But then saints have, special powers. I actually sat with my best friend over lunch and figured out who would beat what in a fight. And,
how funny.
and I ended up winning. People are like, wow, you're good. I'm like, thanks.
That's funny.
Didn't tell them how I won.
You're like, I'm not going to tell you the way that I won.
No.
but
Yeah, no. There's no reason to do that. That would be insulting.
That's funny.
So, So I don't know if you guys have heard because it has been on the national news that where I live is on fire.
Yeah, Mount Baldy's like Mount burning now.
Yeah. Well, no, not Mount.
Fire on the mountain.
Well, no, it's Mount Diablo is the big mountain.
Mount Diablo.
That's right.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, it is Devil Mountain, so
That's
come on.
true, and it's a big mountain, and it's right in the middle of all this like relatively flat stuff. So everyone in the Bay Area can pretty much see Mount Diablo. And my dad is over in the hospital in Walnut Creek, which is right next to Mount Diablo, and I'm come over to see him. I'm like, how you doing, Dad? And I look out the window, and there's the fire right there
crap.
at his window, outside of his window. It's many miles away, but Mount Diablo is very, very visible.
It's big.
and you
Yeah.
can't miss it. So it's kind of like, wow, I'm watching the news with my dad about the fire, and then I'm looking out the window and looking at the fire, and then I'm looking back at the window, and then I'm looking at the fire.
Oh boy. Hey,
Well, you know Yosemite's on fire too.
Oh yeah.
there was no notifications for the start of the show. Do you know?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, on Twitter there was.
Not on Facebook.
Huh? Wonder why?
Don't know.
Did you mess with my settings?
No, I did not.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Goalie.
it worked
You know
for us last week because I
You
checked.
know what they say: never mess with a woman's settings.
No, it should have worked.
Yeah, it should have worked. It didn't.
You should know that.
Nope. We are. Oh, fuck me, really? Just stop being an asshole.
Yeah, goalie.
Hey, no, Facebook. We are on Spreaker now with Mrs. Lefty Brown sitting in for Nick because he's a little pussy. All right.
Something about Nick was something.
Yeah,
about Nick and
what's up
carpet.
with Nick?
I don't know, something about the carpet. I don't.
Yeah,
know.
they're putting carpet in his
something-
house. Yes, carpet. He's too busy
I
munching
swore
carpet.
At first,
munching the carpet. Yeah.
I swore at first you said cockpit, and I'm like,
No,
what?
no, carpet. What's the matter with you? Don't you speak
Yeah.
English? What's the matter with you? It's carpet.
It's carpet.
Yep. So yeah, he's
And what do you drive on?
what is it? I don't know. Your car.
Road.
Fuck you!
Wow. Wow. Like
What
switch.
are you trying to get him to say? That I don't know.
Where you park your car where?
On the,
By what?
by
in the
what?
Havyard.
In the Havyard.
He won't say it right because I said it now.
Yeah.
Nice to be an asshole to me.
The whole Boston thing. God, I come back from PAX East every year, and Kevin's like, "Man, I hate it when you go to Boston because you always come back with a Boston accent. It takes me about 3 or 4 days to get it off of me, especially hanging out with Goalie."
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
Remember in the cab ride, the bubbler?
the bubbler.
the what?
Bubbler.
What?
We had to
What?
ask him. It's like, you know what a bubbler is? And Nick's like, no. And I'm like, well, what was his name? Jeeves. We called him Jeeves. Jeeves.
Cab driver, yeah.
Yeah, the cab driver. He was our cab driver. He gave me the number, so we just had our cab driver. We just called him like Jeeves. We went all right. We told him we're going to name you Jeeves, and he's like, "Oh, I'm all right with that." I'm like, Jeeves, what? What's a bubbler? A bubbler. It's a bubbler when you go when you're thirsty. You got to go to a bubbler.
A bubbler. Get a drink of water.
Got to drink water.
You mean a water fountain?
Water fountains are known as bubblers
They're called
bubblers.
bubblers. Why are they called bubblers?
because they bubble.
They bubble.
No, they
The water.
don't. The water comes out and goes.
No, it's
bubbler.
don't argue with them. They get mean. Do not argue with the Bostonians. They are mean drunks. Yes, no, they're known as bubblers out there. Well, bubblers, but of course they pronounce them bubbler. What's a bubbler? I need to go to the bubbler. When I worked at JetBlue, there were a lot of people from Boston who because you can do a lot of lateral movement very easily within the company. So we would have a lot of people from the East Coast, and we would have one girl that came from Boston, and she's like, "Oh man, I'm thirsty. Where's the bubbler?" And it's like, the what? The bubbler. We don't have whatever that is.
You're like,
You do.
like
No,
would you like
you know, when you get a
Yeah.
drink, a bubbler. I'm like, you mean a water fountain? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, a water fountain. I'm like, it's right around the corner, but what were you calling it? It's a bubbler. I'm like, okay, good to know. Bubbler.
that it makes you wonder with all the different dialects where like bubblers, if they called it that in England, and so it just came over. And
No.
stuck
Like they did not have
Boston?
water fountains in England when they came over. 1776. Thank God the water fountain was invented in 1775, or we would never have had the phrase bubbler.
I know. Hey, and if it wasn't for Edison, we'd be watching TV by candlelight.
That's right. Jason Webb says they call them bubblers in Australia.
Nice.
Yeah, who knew?
Who?
But you know why they do that, right?
Why?
Because they're down under, so it has to bubble up.
What the fuck? What the fuck kind of reasoning is that?
Survey said.
The fact that you actually let me say that's the funniest thing in the world.
Wow, because that's the most geniusly retarded thing I have ever heard. Seriously, that was straight idiot savant shit. Wow. Because they have to bubble up because they're down under. You know, the more you think about it, the more sense it makes.
Release the Kraken.
Yes, that was a total Kraken moment.
Oh yeah, totally.
I can support this. I'm Commander Shepard, and that was my favorite moment on the Game Hounds. So
He's like, that's it. It's gone forever.
yeah. So man, I gotta get into games. You know what I've been craving, and I just like I said, I have not had a spare second to my name except last night, where all I did was just catch up on television. Fuck, that is hard to do when you're away for 2.5
you know what
weeks.
sucks even worse is when someone says, "Oh, have you seen this yet?" And you're like, "Oh, I got to check it out." And then someone else, "Have you seen this yet?" And now I got like 9 different shows.
Is that because you haven't caught up on Honey Boo Boo yet?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, well, I just started watching Revolution on Netflix,
Right?
And then someone else is like, oh, you got to, if I got to finish watching The Dome. And then someone else is like, oh, you got to check out this. It's like, I don't know if I'll ever get to any of these.
Right. That's
I
why
just-
most of the time when people say this is really good, I just ignore them. Because as it is, I just said there's 3 episodes of Project Runway. That's 3 hours. Then I had 3 episodes of Silk, which is a new show on Masterpiece Mystery out of the UK, which was 6 hours because they're 2 hours each. I still haven't hit 4 episodes of Face Off. Metalocalypse, thank God it's so short. I've got 3 episodes of Bleach to watch. What the fuck else? And then have you been wanting? I'm going to do it to you. What you just said you hate. I'm totally going to do it to you. What is the name of that show? Hold on a second. I have to look it up because it's in my head and it's super, super good. It's got David Tennant, who was not this most recent Doctor Who, but the Who before.
Oh, he was the 10th Doctor.
The 10th Doctor.
Tennant.
Fuck, what's the name of it?
Tennant.
David. I know.
I loved it.
And it's David Tennant speaking in his native Scottish brogue. Broadchurch.
Oh.
Broadchurch. It's a murder mystery essentially, and it's a murder in a small town, and it's episodic, and it is really good, really, really good. And David Tennant plays a very fucked up police detective, and speaks in his native Scottish brogue, which is hot, but it's also really well shot, well done. So Broadchurch, I think it's. Oh, go ahead.
Are either of you watching Breaking Bad?
No, and here's why. Kevin is the one that binge watched everything on Breaking Bad up until like just recently, like earlier this year. He did not watch the first half. Did not watch the first half of the most recent
Final season
because he wanted to watch the whole season all at once. So he is waiting until the whole season is done, and then he's going to binge watch the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Jason Webb points out Grand Theft Auto 5 is on Tuesday. Yeah, we actually talked that to death on the regular show. But yeah, this is happening all at such a really bad time. But I cannot wait for Grand Theft Auto, and I couldn't wait for Saints Row 4, and I still haven't even put it in. Even though I can look over, I'm looking at it right now on my dining room table. Underneath, it's in the general direction because it's underneath all the laundry that's on the dining room table. But yes, that's where I put my laundry at the dining room table. Don't judge me. But yeah, I have yet to play Grand Theft Auto 4, even though I own it at this point. EA got rid of all of its the codes, right? The
supposedly, I just got that new hockey game, and there was a code in there for something to play online.
Right, and online codes. And I bought this used, and there was no online code, obviously. But the guy said, I'm like, well, there's no code in here. Why is it essentially the same price? He goes, well, the only code that's there that you get is you get a gun. That's the only thing you get because EA's gotten rid of online codes. But I have not seen much evidence or people talking about how they've gotten rid of online codes. So I may be a bit gimped. I may end up costing me a little extra. But I did buy it from an independent store. Very cool little independent store. Because I did not, I was out and where my dad is in the hospital and was like, all right, well, we'll just go by and pick something up. And I just looked on Yelp and it was GameStop, Phoenix Games, independent game seller. And it was like, just read all the reviews and seriously just small little neighborhood store. One of the last few that have games. So it's like, all right, I'm going to actually go over there and pick it up from them, which is I did, and I paid a premium for it. But I wanted to support the locals, Although
Nice.
It was a used game, so they got to keep all $60 that I spent there.
It was a used game?
It's a used game for $55.
Wow.
Yeah. But he only had one. But apparently they're just like super nice. So I'm willing to give $55 to get a game that's used that goes directly to the small retailer because, more than anything, they need it. Apparently, they are awesome. They're super nice to all the neighborhood. They've got an arcade in the back with all these vintage pinball machines. They've got tons and tons and tons of vintage games that they have for sale. So it's like, I definitely want to support the locals. Michael O'Connell asks, say, Goalie, did you get the update for The Room? The Room has an update?
Yes. I downloaded it. I have not played it.
Ooh.
But yes, I did download the update on my iPad. No, I have not had a chance to play it.
Oh, I did not know that. If I'd have known that, I would have played that while I was working at Burning Man on those few rare moments that I didn't have something to do.
Yeah, that was really fun.
It's a good game. Did you play that, Kel?
Yeah, I told you about it.
No, Kel.
Oh,
No, I did not.
You have an iPad, right?
Yes.
Go download The Room. The Room.
Okay.
Go download The Room.
Room.
The Room. Ugh. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
All it is, it's kind of like a point and click puzzle game. You are in a room with a box that is a puzzle box, and it is specifically made so that only you can get into it because it's so hard to get into. And
Oh, jeez.
there's all these little different puzzles that you have to be really experiment and figure stuff out, figure out how you get into the box. And then you get into the box, and then you have to, then it turns into a plane, as I recall, where you had to do more puzzles to get through the door.
It's weird. It has this really mid 18th century vibe to it.
Definitely steampunk.
Kind of, yeah. Where you can see the drawings that they sketched out and the old flip videos in there a little bit from time to time. So you definitely have this eeriness to this box that it was designed over 100 years ago, almost 200 years ago, maybe. And it's just eerie.
And it's very Lovecraftian in its feeling. Maybe I would say, very. It actually reminded me a lot of Phantasmagoria, if you even remember that title.
Kind of,
where it was elaborate stuff where you had to kind of figure stuff out, but you don't go anywhere. It's just trying to open the box, and it is good. Hey, Pist is in the chat room. So yeah, it's worth it. How much was it? It was
I think it was $5 or $10.
$5 or $10, and it's a little spendy. Worth it. Worth it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, you can't believe it is an iPad game. Really can't. And it's so far as I have found the best iPad game I have played in all senses of the word. It's engrossing, it's challenging, but not so challenging where you want to fling it into the room.
Don't they give you hints? There's a hint button, right?
It does. It eventually does start giving you hints if you are taking way too long, and you can turn those off if you want. But it's intelligent. It's beautiful to look at. The graphics are surprisingly good. It looks like a point-and-click adventure on a PC. And it's got excellent do the iPad functionality. Not only the touchscreen, but also the what do they call that? I want to say the gyroscope. The positionometer, whatever it is. So the tilting it. That doesn't happen that often. In fact, that was the thing that I would always get to a puzzle where I couldn't figure it out, and it was like, oh, the tilt. I forgot about that.
But they didn't overuse that. It was just enough of it that, like Carmageddon, you got to use it the entire time, and it's like, oh, forget it. This was just enough use, and it was really fun.
Yep, tremendous. So I would, pick it up if I were you.
Sounds good.
And I'm really glad that it has an update now, because the game ends in kind of a to be continued way.
And it's not a long game either.
No,
it's not. I went through it.
Just spend a night, one evening, we'll do it. So pace yourself.
I'm going to go
taking
back
its
and again,
delicious.
see if I can remember how to do some, because some of them were really tricky.
Some of them were incredibly
Some of them
tricky.
I just got lucky. It's like, ooh. It's like, well, that did something. oh, that did something else.
Jager says Saints Row 4 is a big pile of crap.
Whoa!
I don't. You're the only one I've heard that's the case.
Yeah. Why? Why do you not like it? I thought it was really fun, but it wasn't silly. And it's a hard line between just being totally ridiculous and being fun. And you know what was weird? Now that I think, I meant to ask Nick this and I forgot. When I'm trying to remember back to PAX East when we had that screening of the game in that room there, and they did not do a good job of describing this game now that I've played it. When I look back at what they described about the game and in the gameplay, I thought it was going to be real silly and real stupid. I'm glad I actually played it. They did not do this game justice with that demonstration.
Really?
Yeah. They just how they talked about. Oh well, the alien, the president is this, and now the aliens control your minds, or whatever he was saying in this thing here. I was just like, this is weird. And I was off in a different direction after they get done talking about it, and then I played it, and I was like, wow, they really come at this from a way different point of view than I would have come at.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to say too much and wreck anything, but just the way they were saying that you play part of the game like this and then part of the game like that, and then you do this, and it really, no, they didn't do a good job at that. Now that I look back, now having played it, I would have sold it completely different than they did.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, so I want you to play it. Even when you get halfway through it, I want you to think back to that demonstration. Look back at your notes. And we both circled Crackdown 2 on your notepad. And that's what this turned into, more Crackdown 2 than anything.
How odd. All right. Well, I'm
just trying to remember what the stuff they said and how they did it. But they really, like I say, I don't know how to describe it. I really thought it was going to be a lot different. And it wasn't. It was awesome, I thought. So I don't know why Yaga didn't like it, but that demonstration they gave, yeah, really, really weird.
That's not a commentary on you. It's a commentary on my quality of sleep last night. Love you, Goalie.
Fuck you.
Love you. You're my favorite.
No,
you're my favorite co-host. Don't tell Nick. You're my favorite co-host.
No.
It's all right. Come on, Pookie. Smile. Just smile. Come on, Pookie. Come on. Come on. Just give me a little smile. Come on. Just one little smile.
I gotta go check my chicken in the oven anyway.
So, PAX Boston. Might as well talk, since we're all talking PAX, might as well get that conversation out. PAX East. Do we have dates for it yet? I'm sure. Read this, then ask questions. It looks like it's going to be in March, right? April 11th. So we got quite a few weeks. Have we decided whether we're going to keep our PlayStation 4 updates? If are we going to not our PlayStation 4 updates? Are we going to pre-orders? Are we going to keep our PlayStation 4 pre-orders? Kelly, what did you pre-order?
Yes. I haven't pre-ordered anything.
Really?
Nope.
Aren't you afraid of being left out behind the curve?
No, I'm one that, when the 360 came out, I didn't get a 360 till the following March or April.
Well,
Lefty's pre-ordered his Xbox One.
Oh, okay, all right. I was going to say you've got to have at least one new console in the house.
Yeah, Lefty's pre-ordered his Xbox One along with 3 or 4 games.
Now, question. Is it possible that you would go over to the dark side, or I should say the blue side, and leave the green side towards the PlayStation?
I have never ever played PlayStation except for Heavy Rain. It's the only game I've ever played on PlayStation. So no.
Really? You didn't play Last of Us?
Nope.
Oh, why not?
I don't like the PlayStation
Never
controller.
played Uncharted?
Nope.
Oh my God, Kelly.
I've only played Heavy Rain.
And that's a terrible game. No matter what
I
Nick
love
says.
Heavy Rain. I played it 4 times.
Oh my God. Then go get Last of Us. Go get Last of Us.
I have Last of Us. I haven't played it though.
Go play it.
I've
There's
also
no
heard that
excuse.
Last of Us. I've also heard Last of Us has a huge problem with it. That it when you're going through the tutorials, it's easy, and then it has a huge drop off, and it gets very, very frustrating.
No. It's frustrating from the beginning and the end. I played it on easy. Play it on easy. You still die, but there are multiple more. It's easier. Play it on easy. You don't lose anything. I did not feel like I missed out on anything by playing it on easy, and I still died a lot.
I don't even have a PlayStation name.
What do you mean? You don't have a PlayStation console?
No, I don't have a name on the PlayStation.
Kelly,
I just play on Lefty's account.
Kelly. Well, it doesn't matter. Go, Kelly. Just go play Last of Us. If you liked Heavy Rain, you will love Last of Us because it's Heavy Rain, but better, way better. And then go play the Uncharted series. It's when PlayStation does something good, it does it really, really well. It does it so much better. Jaeger says play Uncharted 2 first. Yeah, I would say play Uncharted 2 first.
Oh, okay.
But you could play Uncharted 1 as well, because Uncharted 1 was mind-blowing, and then Uncharted 2 was even better.
I think he's ripping through all 3, I think he said.
Yeah.
Wasn't Uncharted 2 the one that everybody said was like a movie?
Yes. It's all like a movie.
Okay.
It's like the Indiana Jones, and I think that everybody really liked Uncharted 2 because it came out right about the time that the new Indiana Jones movie came out, and that was the movie. Uncharted 2 was the movie that were all hoping Indiana Jones was, but wasn't, and we were very disappointed. Makes sense? It was the movie we wanted it to be. And it's so good. And what's great about it is you both can play it together, and you can actually watch it together. Or like one person play it, the other one watch it, and it is just as entertaining for the person watching it. I remember the commercial for it was like a guy and his girlfriend, and it's like, oh, you're going to sit down and watch the movie? He goes, yeah. So she sits down and he plays the game, and she goes, that's such a great movie. And it's true. That's exactly how that game feels. So good.
Cool.
And how can you be a fan of Nolan North? Like, make such a big deal about Nolan North, and you've never seen Drake.
I've seen the guy who does the voice for Drake.
Yes, but you need to see Drake. You need to appreciate who Nathan Drake is.
But the guy who does the voice for Drake is really hot.
I know. You should see Drake.
But the guy who does the voice for Drake is really hot.
But you should see, it's all a degree. It's all a degree. Kelly, I'm just trying to broaden your horizons here and say if you like Nolan North, you will love Nathan Drake.
Okay.
Yep.
I also like Christopher Pine.
Who's Christopher Pine?
He's the guy from Star Trek, the newest Star Trek. He's Kirk.
Oh, yeah.
Star Trek.
He's
we saw him in IMAX, and I was so distracted by him that we had to go watch it in a regular theater because I didn't pay attention to half the movie.
Yeah.
His eyes are so dreamy.
Uncharted 2 has less bullet sponges in combat, Squeegee says. Agreed. Still, awesome game. PC version is way better. Last 12 minutes of giant bombs. Quick look and you'll be amazed. Piss says also, I also did not like the gunplay Uncharted 1. I never got around to 2 and 3. That's a shame, Pissed, because it's a great series. I only got halfway through 3 and then got distracted because ADD. But it was as satisfying as I remember. I think Uncharted 2 is probably the best of the series so far. And Uncharted, Sweetie says, Uncharted 2 on easy is the way to go. Enjoy the story and the mocap. Yep. That's how I played Uncharted 2, and I'm glad I did. Because the game itself becomes almost secondary to the story, and that says a lot because it's a really good playing game. But sometimes you get so frustrated when you can't get through a challenge because you just want to find out what's the next chapter, what's the next cut screen. Come on, I know you hate cut screens, Goalie, but it's like, God, the next cut screen. You want to know what's going to happen. So, what else? What do you guys want to talk about? I'm tired of making up stuff for you guys. We got 10 minutes before I have to go.
So when you were gone, did your dog do anything extraordinarily stupid?
Yeah, she got out even again after spending a full 2 days putting wire and fencing all along everything. She's found some other way to get out, and the neighbor found her and brought her back.
What kind of dog do you have?
A terrier. And it's funny, she's been over at my parents for weeks on end for most of her life. Whenever we go on vacation, she goes to my parents' house. But for some reason, she's gotten in her head now that she wants to roam a little bit. So
she's fixed, right?
Oh yes.
So it's not like she's going to find her boyfriend.
No, she's not finding a boyfriend. I'm not really quite sure what this last one was.
Was there a rabbit?
We don't get rabbits, but yeah, it may have been something that she chased. But she she's a terrier, so she likes to go under things and into things and around things. They've got that kind of digger dog sense. She doesn't dig, but she's always kind of she would have been a really good dog for agility. But yeah, she got out again, but it was not horrible. Nothing got hurt. Nobody died. Nobody ended up, going to the vet, which is good. And yeah, so that's nothing spectacular, but she's going to be with us for a while because we got way too much stuff. I wanted to come home and take a trip and go out to Boston to hang out with Goalie for a couple days, but that's not going to happen for right now.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah, it would have been cool. We still might. Might. Depends on how things settle out here.
So I can plan my work schedule out. So
I will.
It sucked last time that you come out and it was like, well, I had 2 days of work and you were out for 2 days. I was like, well.
Yeah, I had a great time.
It was like, bring your podcast at a work day.
Yeah,
It wasn't bad, but it would have been more fun if we could have just gone up to Jade and got wrecked,
Yeah.
And then come back and it was like, oh, I'll be all stupid and shit, But I was like, oh, no, I got to be good because I'm going to work. And then you went home that next night. So we'll have to plan it better. Plan on coming out Saturdays, spend Saturday, Sundays.
Yeah, we'll do that. So Yeager says, how's the not smoking going? It is going good. I am at this point tapering, but I got a lovely care package. I got a call while I actually text my first day back into civilization, which was in Reno, from Piss Boy. Piss Boy says, what's your favorite kind of candy? And I'm like, or yours and Kevin's favorite kind of candy. I was like, I really like Raisinets, and I like Snickers almond bars, by the way. If you haven't had a Snickers almond, do yourself a favor. Oh. And he's like, not chocolate. I'm like, all right, well, we both kind of like gummy bears. I'm not a big fan of gummy bears, but I don't hate them. Skittles, always, everybody loves Skittles. So he says, I'm sending you a package. Let me know when it gets there. So I got the package yesterday and opened it up. And it's these things that I don't know what they are, but I opened them up. He got me 2 vaporizers. You know what those are? And 2 of the e-juices that are in Skittles flavored and gummy bear flavored. And what it is you open up the little tube and you pour in this e-juice, which is flavored, and it's got nicotine in it. But it doesn't have all the tar and all the other stuff, all the other particulate stuff that comes with cigarettes. So technically it's quote unquote safer. It's still nicotine, but it gives you a small dose of nicotine that you can puff, and you can get that satisfaction of puffing. And I popped it open and took a puff off of it, and it's like, holy shit, it tastes like gummy bears. So the last couple days, I've been smoking gummy bears. And Kevin will come into the house and goes, oh, God, it smells like gummy bears in here. So today I am smoking Skittles.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like just enough to keep you from having a nicotine fit and keep you away from actually having a cigarette.
Oh, great. Now I got to be chasing the Dragon Age.
Piss says his...
He's puffing away the corner. I'm chasing the Dragon Age. Man.
But you can get like, I just ordered some more e-juice. I ordered a sampler with toasted almond flavored, waffle flavored, and then 2-3 different kinds of different tobacco flavors. Because you can get them tobacco flavored, so it kind of gives you that sense of like you're smoking without actually smoking, and then you can slowly wean yourself off of it by removing the nicotine. Because you can get the juices in lower and lower and lower nicotine amounts till it's 0, and then you don't need to smoke. So, and I was reading a study just recently. These e-cigarettes and vaporizers and things like that are as effective as using a patch, which is good because I can't use patches. I've developed an allergy to them.
Everybody in my hockey league's doing that smokeless ease or whatever it is.
Yep.
See everybody over there's like taking puff every now and then. It's kind of weird, you know?
It's weird, but once you kind of get used to it, it's like, it's not bad. So, Piss Boy, thank you. It was such a kind gift. But when he heard that we were trying to quit smoking, he sent us 2 awesome vaporizers that I'm enjoying. Kevin still thinks it's weird to be smoking candy. So he won't do it. But he says, when you get the tobacco flavored stuff, we'll talk. We'll talk.
Yeah. Do you know what he sent me?
What?
Take one wild guess. So you got the good present. What did Piss Boy send me?
A picture. Oh God, I don't know. What did Piss Boy send? A rock. He gave you a rock. You got another rock.
You got a pet rock.
He might as well have sent me a rock or a turd or something.
What?
Wait. He pooped in a box for you?
Wow.
He pretty much did.
Did he take a picture of it first?
He did. I would rather have that. Okay. I got an email saying, "Here is a code for." Any guesses?
Aliens, colonial marines.
Colonial marines. I got it. I have no excuse now. Download it and a steaming pile of poo.
Have you played it?
I have not yet.
Please tell me it's a Steam code.
Yeah, it was on Steam. Yeah, you got to me on Steam. I don't know.
Awesome. You know what that means?
What?
Next week I can play it.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Because they now have the Steam game sharing, so I don't have to pay for it.
I can play it too.
Right. We can all play it together.
I haven't been on Steam in about a couple of weeks. Like I say, Labor Day, the Tuesday after Labor Day, a switch goes off, and it's just like floodgates over here for my work. So I haven't been playing hardly any. I don't think I played with Kelly in almost a week.
No, we haven't played in a while.
I know you had PAX, but yeah, it is like just up to my neck at work, just trying to keep afloat to, that's just how it is right now, busy season. But I do want to try it out. I don't know if I'll probably use the controller. I have a wired Xbox controller I'll try to use. So I do want to check out the train wreck. And so I kind of wish I got Skittles, but in a way, I do want to play this and put back.
The chat room is chanting, "Play it, play it, play it." Thank you, Michael O'Connell, for starting the chant.
Have either of you guys played Gone Home?
Gone Home. Ooh.
It's on Steam.
No.
Ooh. What was that?
Tell me more.
Yes. I haven't played it, but I was told by Eric Doty, who actually works for Microsoft, and he created his own game, and it was at PAX, called, oh gosh, I'm going to forget the name of his game. Anyways, I'll get that in a second. He told me I needed to play it, and what it is it's a discovery game where you come home as a teenage girl, and you're trying to figure out what happened at your home while you were gone.
The pictures of it now looks really nice. It's on Steam?
It's on Steam. And
so why don't you get it so I can play it?
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Eric, just stop talking. Get it now. Are you still talking?
Shut up. Eric Doty's game is called Troubadour. Anyways, but it's supposed to be like a fantastic game, but it was interesting because our friend Steve Mashuka from Front Towards Gamer was interviewing last night the creator of the game. So he was asking me for like questions, and I'm like, I've never played the game, but here's a question for you. If it's a a point and click game puzzler, I said, ask the person how frustrating it would be if someone could finish the game sooner than they expected people to finish it.
Right.
And he goes, Kelly, you do not know how poignant that is, because if you knew where to look in this game, you could finish the game in 2 minutes.
Huh.
And I'm like, that would be so maddening. You paid $20 and you finish the game in 2 minutes.
Wow.
And he goes, yeah, but it's all about where you know how to look. And I'm like, yeah, with my luck, I'd be that person who goes, doink, and I finish the game.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Not you.
Well, you're probably very true. You're probably very right. Although, going with my luck, I would be that one.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, we got 2 minutes where we got to wrap up. We got a hard break at 4.
Yep. Yeah.
You mean at 1?
At 1.
Just because you live in the future.
Yeah. So don't worry about next week. Nick will be back. He had his parents are putting carpet in the house.
Oh, that's right. He lives with his parents still.
I know. When is that boy going to grow up? It's not like he's a kid. Anyway, his parents are putting carpet in the house, so he can't.
He has to learn how to munch carpet first.
He's got to lick
and
that.
then-
He's got to lick that carpet.
Nick has had a girlfriend. I have gone onto his Facebook page. He has had a girlfriend.
Are you sure it wasn't just one of these catfishes where they?
Sure of it. No, took her to Europe. They went to Europe together. Our little Nick went out and went to Europe. And
Oh, so it was a serious girlfriend. He actually paid money for it, huh?
yeah, in college even. I know that
Wow.
boy. It's kind of funny. I'm looking.
I am your girlfriend. What you like to do tonight? Like a game? Yes, that sounds great.
You know what? I bet it was one of those Japanese robot girlfriends that he had to make sure he oiled her just right. To get her to
Yep,
move.
that's exactly
Her lube
right.
He had to lube her just right. Poor Nick.
All right. Well, but we need to get out of our show because I have to go out to have an appointment. So, hold on a second. Stop. Close this. All right. So, everybody in the chat room, if you don't know how to get a hold of us, here, actually, let me send out our out music. Hold on. Come on, play. There we go. And are you going to play? How do you play? Come on, play. Play. Yay! It's playing. All right. So, everybody, if you are listening to the Game Hounds here on Happy Endings, know that we do have a regular Game Hounds show. That Game Hounds show can be found at gamehounds.net, or you can look on iTunes under Game Hounds. You'll see 2 shows, Happy Endings, which is this one, and this is our after show, and our regular show, Game Hounds. You can find it, just look under Game Hounds, you'll find it. If you want to get a hold of us, our website, gamehounds.net. Our email is gamehounds@gmail.com. Ask us questions. We will answer. Give us opinions. Tell us what you think about Saints Row 4. And when Grand Theft Auto 5 comes out, tell us what you think about Grand Theft Auto 5. And if you have pre-ordered a console, which console did you pre-order? And have you changed your mind since when you pre-ordered it? Because things have changed a lot within the industry, within the release dates, within the features. Did you change your mind? And are you second-guessing yourself at this point?
Just deal with it.
You cockholes! You goddamn fart knockers! Just buy the goddamn console!
Just get online all the time. That's
What
all
the
that matters.
fuck?
Just do what we say. We know what you want.
All right, and with us has been, of course, Holy Billy, who's on with us every week. We also have Kelly Brown from The Married Gamers. You can find The Married Gamers at themarriedgamers.net. I'm not going to lie, they're a better show than us. They're a better website than us, so you're an idiot if you don't go over and check it out. Seriously. themarriedgamers.net with her lovely husband, Mr. Lefty Brown.
I noticed that Kelly did this entire show sober, which is something she doesn't do on her own.
Yeah, I know.
It's too early in the day to drink my beer.
Yeah, maybe later. Maybe we'll have to have a happy ending or happier ending later on.
Happy hour.
Just get sloshed into a show. And everybody would show up, and I don't know why, because drunk shows are shitty shows, no matter what you do. Anyway, so yeah, themarriedgamers.net for a really good podcast, way better than one you're listening to. But we love you because you're listening to ours. And seriously, you need to go and check it out. So, Goalie, thanks for being on the show. Kelly, thank you for sitting in for Nick. You're a better Nick than Nick. And we will talk to you all next week. Bye-bye.